Hi everybody, I'm Patrick.
And I'm James.
And we're two lazy guys, and today we're going to be reviewing American Warships, the Asylum's version of the Hollywood blockbuster Battleship, because that film really deserves to have another version made.
I feel it does. I caught part of it on HBO, the Battleship one.
The Hollywood blockbuster?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was awful. Didn't watch all of it.
Didn't even finish it?
Nope.
Did you finish American Warships?
You better believe it.
Oh, very good. Well, American Warships, the synopsis is pretty simple. You've got the USS Iowa, which is about to be decommissioned, and it is captained by Mario Van Peebles. Y'all might remember him from Highlander 3. He was the bad guy. He also directed New Jack City. And he was also in a little gem of a television show from the 80s called Sunny Spoon, and I will refer to him as Sunny Spoon throughout the rest of this review. Anywho, it's on its way back to be decommissioned, turned into a museum, a floating museum, when America thinks North Korea is attacking in the ocean, but it's not North Korea.
I mean, that's always. There's problems in the world, North Korea.
Every time.
Patrick, I liked how they set this up on the ship. I thought all the shots were good on the ship.
Yes.
They made sure the angles were where you couldn't see any land or out far.
Right.
They're more angled upwards or inside or against a wall or something. I like how you could tell the ship was probably already anchored somewhere because they already had all the plaques on the ship. And they worked that into the movie.
Right. But there's a little subplot there where they've got this group of mostly female museum curator types there to help do the decommissioning, which also it's a device not only to explain away why the ship kind of looks like a museum, but also to get some female roles in the film. Would explain why all of a sudden we have these very attractive looking females roaming around the ship. Who am I to complain? I agree with you. They were very smart. They actually shot on, was it actually the actual Iowa or a similar? They shot on an actual ship, and they did very well. They planned their shots like James O said, and it really sold it. I believed it.
My thoughts on the movie was it's a decent movie. It wasn't, you wasn't on the edge of your seat, but you wasn't giggling because of bad acting.
This is true. You bring up an excellent point. The acting, and asylum films are the asylum films, and some have better actors than others. And this is a very good one. It has Sunny Spoon, Mario Van Peebles, Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed is like the Admiral General guy on the Joint Chiefs of Staff who has to report to the Secretary of Defense, and he's very good. I had heard from a friend of ours that said Carl Weathers sounded like he was Batman in this whole movie with a Christian Bale.
He did have the exact.
Yeah.
But
it's possible.
It did, and I thought all the roles were good. A few was, I feel, misrolled, like Secretary of
Defense.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
I refer to him as Secretary Little Guy.
A Secretary of Defense should be somebody who's had years and years of experience. All right, it should be a robust figure. Somebody who's he's comfortable in his own skin, but he's not afraid to bust kneecaps as needed. Donald Rumsfeld stand up. This guy looked like he was fresh out of grad school and a little fella, and just he didn't sell it. When you're up against Apollo Creed, and Apollo Creed's dressed in the whole military thing, and you're like, Apollo Creed, you better do what I say. You're saying Apollo Creed, punch that dude. Yeah,
it's set in the Pentagon. I'm taking it because they show a shot of the Pentagon, and then you go in, he's in a room.
Right.
And he's all in uniform. He's looking big and
he's still cut.
And then you got this little short guy coming in. You can see he's talking down to him, and he's getting his tone, and hey, I delivered pizzas, now I got my suit on.
I'm late for the prom, come on.
So yeah, I didn't feel that role really fit. Is there one that you...
But a similar vein, Mario Van Peebles, Sunny Spoon's, I guess Sunny Spoon is the captain, this guy's the admiral. He's on the ship to help kind of oversee the ship being decommissioned and the officers serving going elsewhere. And he's really mealy kind of a guy, kind of a nerdy kind of... You don't get the sense that this guy has years of military experience that it takes becoming an admiral.
Yeah, I will agree. It did seem a little frumpy.
That's a good word. Yes.
And yeah, at the beginning he's talking, oh, I'm so excited. I had to pull all these strings to get back on the ship one last time. But you didn't see him that much. He was like,
yeah, once the action happened, where did he go?
he's like, he's there, aliens are attacking, he's taking a nap. And then maybe he's watching some Lazy Guy reviews.
He probably is. He probably gets addicted.
And then later on, there he is.
At the very end. Sure glad I could help out everybody. You bring up a good point here, James, though. The aliens, it's not North Koreans who are the bad guys, it's aliens. And this is where my number one problem with the film comes in.
Okay.
Because they never explain why the aliens are doing what they're doing. There's never a discussion, there's no aliens talking with each other or anything like that saying, okay, we're attacking because we want to enslave humanity, we want to drain the ocean, we want to turn it all into Soylent Green. It's people, native people. They never say that. You don't have no idea why they're doing what they're doing.
Usually these movies, they do say why they're attacking. Independence Day just stands out.
Right.
But can't we have peace? No peace.
No, yeah, you don't have that scene.
And these aliens, they look kind of goofy looking.
Do that line again, Jay. That was really good.
That's the tentacle thing.
Oh, right.
No peace.
Man, selling it. I heard there's going to be an Independence Day too, James. Get your agent to call him or something. Yeah, it would have been helpful, just a 30-second little scene, perhaps, like we love salt water, so we're going to take all the salt water off this planet.
Yeah.
Something, so I can go with it.
Right.
Now, another technical point is apparently the aliens use this like electromagnetic pulse, an EMP blast, to cripple the military. But apparently the USS Iowa is so old, archaic, that the EMP does not affect that boat.
Right, yeah. I remember the scene where the lady comes up and she has a shortwave radio. And he's like, of course it goes along with, hey, we're restoring the ship. This was on here.
Right.
And he's like, well, how's that still working? It wasn't plugged up. And it runs on solder and tubes. And evidently big destroyers don't have circuit boards of any type.
Not at all. That boat kept going. And another interesting technical aspect is they pull out an old VCR, James. And the VCR apparently is impervious to EMP pulses. I wish I still had my old VCR. I bet DVD player just...
I did like that. They was like, oh, we can't watch this normally. Wait, hold on, there's a VCR. Perfect. That runs on solder and tubes.
Where we get all these tubes and things? It'll protect us. James, do you have one particular scene that you would say is your favorite? Since we pointed out a couple of the failures of the film, what's a positive?
I got a couple of scenes I like. One of them was at the beginning where they sound the siren on the ship. And boy, that siren lights up and people are running. I don't know if you noticed, but every person on the ship...
Everybody gets pandemonium.
It did. It looked crazy. Like, I don't know where I'm running to, but I have to run when the siren goes.
That's what it means.
But my favorite scene would have to be one of the SEALs go with the whole team.
Right,
and
they infiltrate the aliens.
Yeah, they get on one of the alien ships. They wanted to take some pictures. Evidently, cameras still work.
Probably has tubes and stuff.
But rolled. You gotta have a 35mm film.
Oh, right.
The digital cameras do not work.
Old 35mm.
Yeah, they're on the ship. It explodes or something explodes, and somehow he got back to the Iowa, looking burnt.
Like a burnt, crispy critter that guy was. Poor fella.
And he don't have long to live, and he's grabbing his side, and they're like, "Oh, what's this little wound here?" And the doctor sticks some tweezers in there and pulls out a roll of film.
Man, that's dedication.
And then they develop that film, and there's aliens. Oh, now we know. Oh,
we have photographic evidence now. James, my favorite scene is a very short little scene, and kudos to the producers of this film. The original title of this film was American Battleships.
Right.
And the producers of the Hollywood blockbuster film Battleship threatened to sue the asylum. And so they changed the film to American Warships. Now, James, there's one famous line associated with the classic game of Battleship.
Right.
You sank my battleship. Well, there's a scene when the aliens are attacking and whatnot, and Sonny Spoon is up, on the bridge or something. He's looking through his binoculars. And, whoosh, nobody's going to sink my battleship. And he sold it. Man, you may make me change the title of this film,
but I'm gonna use that line.
And I understand the Hollywood film does not use that line or a variation of that line in their version.
Which is...
It's injustice.
It is. Thank you, American Warship.
Man, the asylum comes through again. I will just say briefly, I think this film was made for television. There is no random act of nudity in this film. There's some very attractive ladies in the film, but they're all fully clad, which is fine. You can't have everything all the time.
And the language was pretty much kept
Yeah, and
where it is.
And the violence wasn't anything beyond TV acceptable.
Brings up a good point. I feel they spent majority of their budget probably on the actors because they all acted well. So what do you do to make up for that? You make alien ships invisible.
That's right, another budget-saving device.
We're chasing these ships. You don't see them, but they're there.
We're going to spend a budget on getting Apollo Creed and Sunny Spoon, and we're going to rent this ship from the Navy. We're going to film it all on there, well, the vast majority of it. And smart.
It is.
People who made this movie, they were smart. The asylum budgets must be minuscule by definition, I would imagine, but they stretched this appropriately. And it's a good looking film. It doesn't cheap the viewer at all. It's good.
As we watch asylum movies, I see that they either go with better actors or kind of more action, CGI stuff.
Right.
And this one, the CGI they did use looked pretty decent.
Pretty good. Yeah, they had, I guess, CGI animated sequences where the guns on the ship are moving, but it looked good.
Right. That and the when any bomb hit like the towns and everything, it looked real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm ready to render my verdict. You ready? Yeah. I'm gonna go with 3.5 sauce on this one. It is above average. That's putting it unkindly. It was pretty good, I have to say. It wasn't fantabulous like Birdemic or 200 miles per hour, but it was a very solid entry and highly recommended. 3.5.
All right. I'll also give it 3.5 sloths just because I thought it was a decent movie. I didn't mind watching it. It did everything it should have done. It entertained me.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Well done, American Warships, and thank you, kind viewer, for joining us today. Our next review will be the Asylum, an earlier effort by the Asylum called Alien vs. Hunter, not to be confused with Alien vs. Predator. Alien vs. Hunter, which stars the greatest American hero. Wrap your mind around that, James.
What? And it is streaming. I think you have to look under AVH 2007. Please join in and watch it. We'd like input from y'all as well. You know, we'd love to review this and then have just talk about it.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do some comments.
That's the fun part. We're on the Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Join us if you will. We have T-shirts available. I'm telling you, it is already September. The holidays will be here before you know it. What better way to say I love you than with a Two Lazy Guys T-shirt? Here, please lay around. Right. For the holidays. Be lazy in your Lazy Guys T-shirt. There you go. All right, until next time. Bye-bye.